Hi and welcome to MicroMoment Monday. Today we're going to take a quick walk around the garden because there are a couple of surprises that I want to share with you. This is really pretty exciting. So first of all, as you can see, our Vigo gardens have just done beautifully. You're looking at some cantaloupe here. I think we have a total of 9 cantaloupe hiding everywhere. We've already had one, and it was just delicious. And we've had a lot of tomatoes. We had cucumbers, many cucumbers. In fact, we took some of the vines out, and these are the kind of the remainders here. But we do have some Roma tomatoes still coming. Sadly, our tomatoes aren't coming fast enough for me to do much canning. They come fast enough for us to have a lot to eat, but not so much that I have an excess to be able to can. The garden over there has lots of tomatoes and cucumbers again. Now, this is one of the surprises. This little planter had lettuce in it early in the season, and then when the lettuce was gone, I just left it alone. And this is a volunteer plant. Whatever it is, we don't even know. Is it a cucumber? Here is one of the fruits right here. And honestly, I can't figure out what that is. It's not the same texture on the outside as a cantaloupe is. We have another one hiding in the leaves over here. It's not at all soft, so it's not ripe, but with all of this foliage on both sides, it has produced only 2 fruits. So I have no idea what it is. The bees love it. They come and pollinate all the time, but it's not doing very much. So it will be interesting to see what those little surprise fruits are. I'm hoping they're kind of cantaloupe. It might be a cross-pollination sort of thing, and we might have a new plant, so we'll see. Here is our Russian sage. It also is lovely and really a pollinator attractor. It's full of bees right now, if you can see that little guy right there. Although it's not a guy, it's a female. Busy every minute. So here is another of our garden surprises. This apple tree does have a few apples on it, and I'm so thrilled. They are small, but I've already eaten 1 apple off of this tree. The birds just love these, so I'm hoping we'll have some after the birds are done. But they're lovely and sweet, and I would love to be able to dehydrate some apples this year because I'm getting low on dehydrated apples. So we'll see what comes of that. Not very many. We lost most to frost. And we don't appear to have too many worms this year, which is good. Take a look at our amaranth. It is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. This was a surprise to me earlier in the week. I hadn't been out here for, a couple of weeks. Jim is taking care of things because I still am working. And so he waters in here every day, and he hadn't said a thing. And so I came out here and walked in, and whoa! The amaranth is just absolutely phenomenal. And I am learning about amaranth. This is the first year I have grown it to where the chickens have left it alone because we no longer have chickens. And so it has just grown in these blue barrels. And it's 5 or 6 feet high. And it's just beautiful. Now, what I'm going to be doing with this is, as soon as these start turning and they're on their way to be turning brown. Amaranth is a grain, and it is a lovely, lovely grain. A lot of times it is used in gluten-free baking. And so I'm going to bag all of those blossoms as soon as they start turning brown, and I'm going to see how, if it's possible, to collect all of the grain and then start using it. So that's going to be another experiment I'm going to be running through the winter. Now, amaranth is edible. These tender young leaves at the growing tips are good in salads. The dye that comes from this cannot be used in the United States in food. So I don't know what the deal on that is. I haven't researched that yet. This is spinach, and it's doing great as well. So we'll come out here and pick some of these leaves and have some. Our tomatoes out here have just gone gangbusters. So this was an experiment to see if I can grow tomatoes in the greenhouse, and the answer to that is yes. This is an artichoke plant that hasn't produced any artichokes yet, but this one has, and I let these two artichokes go to flower, and aren't they pretty? Fact of the matter is, I didn't catch them in time to eat them, so I just let them go rather than picking them, and I have been so pleased at that beautiful little flower right there. Now, I think that these artichoke plants, if we can get them to last through the winter, will come back next year. This experiment was a total and utter failure, just like I thought it might be. This is cantaloupe, and I just didn't thin it at all. I just let it go on its own. Not one cantaloupe. The leaves aren't big at all. We've had no pollinators in here, so it's been a little bit tough. So, there we have our greenhouse for this year. So I'm very pleased with the results that we've had, and what a surprise this amaranth was. It is so gorgeous. So thank you for coming with me on this little walk around the garden. It's been fun, and we will see you next Monday for Micro Moment.